Namaste, students. Wow, March 2025 was a really packed month, wasn't it? So, in today's session, we're going to break down all the key updates you absolutely need to know. We're talking everything from big things happening right here at home to major international news. Ready? Let's dive in and figure it all out together.
All right, we have so much interesting stuff to get through, so let's just jump right in, shall we? Okay, so here's our game plan for today. We'll kick things off with national activities, then we'll look at the international scene. After that, we've got a really important section on science, defense, and the economy. Then, of course, we'll jump into the world of sports, and we'll wrap it all up with some very prestigious awards and honors. Following this structure will make everything super easy to follow. All right, first up, Rashtriya Gadi Vidyan. Let's start with a really big global summit that was hosted right here in India.
So, a huge event in March was the World Sustainable Development Summit, or WSDS for short. Where the summit is held is always a big deal. So, any guesses where it was this year? Take a second to think. And the answer is New Delhi. And listen, hosting this is a huge deal. It really shows the world that India is serious about climate action and our sustainable goals. It's a massive moment for us on the environmental stage for sure.
Okay, next up we have a truly historic appointment. This is a real milestone, you guys. For the very first time in our history, India has a woman law secretary. So the big question is, who is she? Her name is Anju Rathi Rama. And this is just incredible. It's the very first time a woman has ever held this position. Think about that. It's a huge step for representation in the law ministry, and definitely a name you'll want to remember.
Fantastic. Okay, now let's zoom out a bit and look at the bigger picture. We're moving on to Antarashtriya Paridrushya to see what was happening on the international stage and India's part in it.
Let's kick this section off with a really important international award. So, Prime Minister Narendra Modi received the Honorary Order of Freedom. But the question is, which country gave him this honor? That's right, it was Barbados. And this kind of honor is more than just a nice gesture. It's a real sign of the growing partnership between India and the Caribbean nations. They're working together on some super important stuff, like climate resilience and digital transformation. Okay, moving on, let's talk about trade. It's a big one. India and the European Union are working on a free trade agreement, or an FTA. So where is the super critical 10th round of these negotiations going to happen? They're taking place in Brussels, which makes sense, right? It's the EU's headquarters. And listen, if they can pull this off, a successful FTA would be a total game changer for our economy. I mean, it could seriously boost our exports in huge sectors like textiles and IT. All right, let's get into our third section, Vigyan, Raksha, or Arthvyavastha, or Science, Defense, and Economy. Now, these three sectors are always high priority for your exams, so let's really focus in on this part. So starting with defense, India's DRDO, the Defense Research and Development Organization, they just tested a really critical piece of tech. It's called the Integrated Life Support System, or ILSS. And basically, this system is what keeps a pilot safe way up at high altitudes. Super important. So which of our own indigenous fighter jets was it tested on? It was for our very own Tejas aircraft. This is just fantastic news. It's a massive boost for our Make in India goals in defense. And it's a really proud moment that just makes the Tejas even more capable. Okay, let's shift gears from defense tech to our economic outlook. There's this one number that's been making headlines from a recent report, 6.5%. Any guesses? What could that number possibly be? Well, that is India's real GDP growth forecast for the fiscal year 2026, according to a report by CRISIL. So to put it simply, this number is basically a prediction of how fast our economy is going to grow. And that affects, pretty much everything, from job creation to how much businesses expand. You guys are doing great. Now, let's switch to a section that I know everyone loves, Khel Jagat, the world of sports. Let's see what the big stories were. Okay, everyone, listen up. This next one, this is what I call a 5-star guaranteed exam question. I can almost promise you'll see this come up, so really, really pay attention to the details here. And the winner of the 2025 Champions Trophy is India! Woo! What a win! Let's break down all the key facts you need to know from this slide. The captain was Rohit Sharma. This is actually India's third time winning the title, with the other wins back in 2002 and 2013. And, an important point, the tournament was held in Pakistan. See, every single one of these points could be its own question, so make sure you've got them all down. Just an amazing win for Team India. Okay, let's move on to our final section for today, Puraskar or Samman, or Awards and Honors. This is where we talk about some really impressive people and the recognition they've received.
So, this question is about a name I'm sure many of you know, especially if you follow the business world. Nitin Kamath, the man behind Zerodha. He just got a really prestigious award. Any idea which one it was? He was named the EY Entrepreneur of the Year for 2024. And this isn't just any award. It's a globally recognized honor from Ernst & Young, one of the biggest professional services firms in the world. So yeah, this is a massive deal, and it's a huge source of inspiration for our entire startup scene in India.
So, to quickly recap some of the biggest takeaways, we had India winning the Champions Trophy, a huge moment. And that 6.5% GDP growth forecast, that's definitely a number to watch. Which topic did you find most interesting? Let me know. अगर आपको ये वीडियो पसंद आई हो तो प्लीज लाइक करिए, कमेंट करके अपना फीडबैक दीजिए और अपने दोस्तों के साथ शेयर जरूर करिए। चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करना ना भूलें ताकि आपको और भी हेल्पफुल वीडियोस मिलती रहें। और ज्यादा प्रैक्टिस क्वेश्चंस के लिए हमें टेलीग्राम पर ज्वाइन करें, लिंक डिस्क्रिप्शन में दिया हुआ है। और अगर आप चाहते हो कि मैं किसी स्पेसिफिक टॉपिक पर वीडियो बनाऊं तो नीचे कमेंट्स में जरूर बताएं। मैं कोशिश करूंगी उस पर वीडियो बनाने की।